Hey everybody. So we are still working on the Wonder Walkers journal here. Let me get you in frame. And I'm actually working on the third signature. This will be a 3 signature book. And this is the mess that I'm working on right now. This is a storybook journal that is made out of the kids' book Wonder Walkers. I've chopped them all up so I don't have a cover of it. So, so you know, unfortunately we don't have anything for you to look at. But I've got my first 2 signatures. I'm not gonna say done, but all the pages are in place as far as the story goes. And so now I'm working on the 3rd signature. So I thought I would turn you guys on and bring you along. Kind of see the process. Now, my papers are all cut to my template size. I just have to cut my book pages to fit accordingly, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of what we're doing. And this process is, honestly, it's a little all over the place. But it is what it is. So I'm cutting down this first side here. And I'm currently keeping all my little scraps because some of them are really pretty. And I'll go back and embellish with them here in a little bit whenever we get our pages done. So I'm gonna, well, I can't really take this apart. We just got to work with it like it is. I need to trim that down a little bit more. I need it to fit in here. I'm gonna glue this page down, and this will be this may be a pocket. So I need to trim it down a little bit more. And we eyeball trim on a lot of this. It fits the page. I just don't want it to be in the fold of the page and the crease. So yep, that fits good. And now I need to trim a good chunk of the top off. I'm not going to trim towards the bottom because I want to salvage as much of her as I can. Trim a chunk off the top and see where that gets us. And a little bit more. I got my ephemera pieces sewn. I can show you those. We got our little tags here with the little floofies on them. Our little journal cards. Our little stationery pages or journal cards. And then these guys. So I sewed around the little cards and then attached them like that. So we've got those ephemera pieces going on. Got those sewed last night. There we go. That's good. Now I need to decide if I want to do a pocket out of this. I'm going to trim him down a little bit. Right up to his honey. Because I've been rounding some corners. Excuse me. Since I want to make him a tuck spot pocket, I'm going to add a little something something to him. Give him a little bit of, I'm going to use a piece of this book cover just to give him a little bit of oomph. Yeah. we'll bond glue it. I've been using my glue stick a lot in this book, and which is rare for me. But I think it's because these book pages are matte, and my paper that I'm using is matte as well, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable that they're sticking and staying. But as I go through it and, you know, work on my ephemera and all that, if any of it is wonky, then we'll back up and regroup with some good glue. I just want this flap to be, you know, reinforced, not the whole page. So, yeah. And actually, maybe I'll sew around it real quick, just to give it a little bit of extra. I don't know, maybe not. I'm trying not to do a whole lot of sewing in this one either. Oh, that's a noisy little airplane going by. So maybe we won't sew around it, but we will add, or actually I should sew around it. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Gosh, decisions. Maybe I should sew around it. Basically, he's going to be like that. I'll sew around him real quick. Y'all just have to listen to the beat of the sewing machine for a minute. There we go. Much better. Feel much better about it. So, I'm going to glue this side down first. Again, using my glue stick, trusting that it'll work with me here. So I just mainly got in the first and second signatures, I mainly got the pages in place, the story in place, and then I'll go back and do more, adding the embellishments and things like that. hate that I'm having to work within this book, but to keep everybody where they're supposed to be, that's kind of how you have to do it with these. Oh, I don't want to go across the top. What am I doing? Just trying to glue it down like a... We don't want that. We do... Okay, get your focus here, Shell. We do want to do this first. Shoot it with a little bit of gold. Okay, now focus. We are doing a pocket, so we are doing the sides. Just going to do a little line down at the bottom and up the side. Okay. Let's see if that does us how we're supposed to be doing it. Okay. Okay, that gives us a little side tuck pocket here. Let me open this page. And we're smooth here. Okay, now this page is the cave. Trying to decide how I want this. I'm okay with this side because it's a little boy at the shore. I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with this, so we're going to glue this one down. So first we need to trim it pretty good. First we need to make sure he's even fold. I just changed the blade on this knife and it's being wonky on me already. I'm not a fan. So I'm gonna trim this edge a little bit. Just because it's got a little rough spot there. Just a little bit. I don't want to trim too much off because it actually goes with the picture. So I don't want to get my lines off too much. You hear me? You see me? You feel me? So this part will be glued down. I'm going to trim a little bit more off. Just a little bit. Yep. And then this, I'm going to round these corners. Letting you know you can flip this up. And then we will do this part down. a mess on the side of my desk. Actually, I have a mess all over my desk. Usually I clean really good before I start a new project, and I did not. So I have bits and bobs of other things floating around on my desk. And I'll come back in this page. I'll, obviously it's too dark for writing space, but I'll add a pocket or something else to it. And this page flips open. There we go. That works out good because this little boy's on this page. When you open this up, it can look like this the little boy. This is a little girl. The little boy's over here playing on the ocean while she's digging around in the cave. So that worked out okay. So, yeah, so this is the back side of that. Which is why it's important to have 2 copies or more of a book if you're going to do a storybook. So the problem with this is that to catch this, which this is the words that I want, are shells, the shores, necklace is ocean, the world's bath. I'm going to have to chop her off a little bit. Let's see if we can trim it as far as we can up top. As close to the wording as we can. I'm trying not to be off screen with you guys, but it's kind of hard to work in this book with. So I'm still going to have to unless, okay, let's think about this. If we chop okay, we're going to do some choppy chop. If we chop this, and then we're going to chop this, it's not even, but that's okay. We're going to work with it. And if she goes here, and then if we back this with something, it can be a fold over little tuck spot. And I can scoot it up on the page and keep her. I can actually trim it down a little bit more, so, okay. That's what we'll do. We'll see how that works. Maybe a little tricky. I just don't want to chop her off. She's the main focus of the page. drift. Now, let me see if I can fold this. Along our fold. Without causing too much of a havoc. Okay. And then let's see. Stay with me here. See if we can figure this out. Glue that down. Kind of trimming it to make it look correct, or more correct. I don't like this. So let me think here. Glue her up here. Okay, that's not too bad. And then these on this side, that's just a little tuck. Okay. I like that. So, first we will add this to our page. And then I need to sew around this. I didn't realize I was going to be doing so much sewing, you guys. I do apologize. I know my sewing machine's a little loud. Again, that was not my... Didn't realize I was going to be doing a lot of sewing. But it is what it is. before I get sidetracked and forget to do that. Also in this book, my sewn parts, I'm trying not to have a bunch of strings and threads. Sometimes, you know, you leave them dilly-dallying, and sometimes you trim them. And in this one, I'm trimming. So I want to kind of do it down the middle. Press hard because we backed this with some pretty hard cardstock. It was the cover of the book, actually. Waste not, want not. That's a little tuck spot there. And then I don't know if I'm in the screen with you guys. Tuck him down here. Okay. Moving right along, moving right along. Now, let's see here. Gotta figure out. Okay, so I don't know why I folded this like this. The problem is that okay, so we are here and we need to our rivers, the earth's vein is our next, because this was the other side of this, and so we flipped it here. Our rivers, the earth's veins is what we need next. Okay, so what we're gonna do is take our template, see if we can just cut accordingly, because that's the words that we need. That big scrap that maybe we can tuck in there somewhere. Yep. I'll just use this as a full page. This, again, is a storybook journal. I'm keeping the story intact. I've done a few storybook journals, and I really love doing them. They are a bit of a challenge, but I enjoy them. And usually when I do them, I get pretty in-depth with them, like adding postcards and all sorts of goodies. And I'm not doing that with this one. I'm keeping this very simple. Mainly because I want it to fit in the book that I have picked out. I don't want to redo the spine of it. And looks like it's a little, like 1.5 inch spine. So I'm trying not to make my book too bulky, because I want to stay within my spine and not have to redo it. But if when we get it all together, it's bulky, I can redo my spine. I just don't want to. Not in particular. Not particularly. Okay. So we're going to put him here. I think I need to trim it down just a hair more. I think we're crooked. This has writing that spans the whole length of it, so kind of gotta chop sparingly. Yeah, so that was crooked. Not sure how we got off on that, but that's okay. Yep. We'll just glue him down completely. And I normally don't do, in my storybook journals, I normally don't do like full pages, just a page of the book kind of thing like this. But this book is a little different, and it's got such graphics on it that I want to preserve as many of them as I can. I just love the illustration, the collage-y type look. And so could just cut this out, but then I would miss that part of the we can just trim that down and have him here, or we can do some sort of ephemera there. That's what we'll do with that. Okay. Back to it. Let's see where I'm at on time. Okay, I'm still good on time. Continuing on. 2, 3. Okay. Now, this is 222. What was I gonna do with this? I think this is the wind, the world breathing, and then that, and then I'm gonna work ahead and figure this out here, because I've got this Rain the Day's Tears. If if we do a little tuck spot with Rain the Day Tears, we can do a journal card as such, because we don't need this, because Is the Wind Breathing is back here. So okay. Is this what we're on next? No, I'm stepping ahead. Okay. We're working on Is the Wind the World Breathing? And I kind of want to, I guess I can do a tuck spot with this. Although he's pretty enough, he's and light enough, I can just do writing space on both sides, you know? Okay, let's trim it down a little bit, see what we're working with. Let's trim it down a little bit this way too. Okay. Yep. Simple enough. Again, I'm really kind of keeping this real simple. And, you know, we can add some pockets and ephemera and all that, embellishments and all that. I just need to get the pages with the wording in place. That's the key point to the storybook journals. And then once you do that, everything seems to kind of fall in place for the most part. Come on. See, I can leave this as journaling space, or we can add something to it. I like it as journaling space because it's decorative, but it's light enough to where you can journal on it. So I kind of like that. And I'm gonna put this up so I can glue. We know that goes there. This is what I meant earlier when I was saying that I've used the glue stick in a lot of this, because normally I would be inclined to use the weld bond to glue these big pages down, but so far the glue stick's doing pretty good. It seems to be sealing around my edges really good, and it seems to be laying flat. No wrinkles or anything like that, so. Okay, and then this is just another page of the kids blowing the wind, and I think we can leave this like it is. This is a flap because either one of these I guess could It's just folding straight first off. And then we can decide which one we want to leave as a flap. If we leave it like that, that shows this is actually the other side of that. But technically, we should have done that. But we didn't, so we didn't. So how about let's just do yeah, I think I want to do this as the flap so we can continue with the story. Okay, scoot you up a little bit. And I'm going to trim from the bottom because I want to keep as much of this windy stuff as possible versus the sweaters. And to trim some more. I'm sure I could just measure this and get the exact amount of what I need to trim, but it's more fun to just, you know, wing it per se. And I need to trim this. I'm over here gluing off camera. You wondered where I went. Come on, tuck all the way down there. Every time I have a little flap, I round the corners, just so kind of gives it a little bit of, kind of know it's a flap, I guess. Okay, back to business here. Oh yeah, coming right along. Okay, now this, we're not worried about the wind breathing, we're worried about the rain. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in here. And I'm going to add us a little And do us a little journal card, I think. I guess I'll use the background of this as well. Make a little journal card real quick and add some floof. We'll sew around it and add some floof to it. Let's see here, how far? Let's go up to here with it. Let's try to make things even. Okay. My corner rounder is on its last leg, but we're still working with it. Okay, so I'll sew around this and add some little fluff to it, but he can sit in here. Yep, I like that. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to continue on with this. We're at the end of it. This is the last page of the book. And so I'm going to continue on with that and leave you guys be. And once I get that done, I'll work on some more ephemera because, you know, I've got places now that have, I need ephemera. I've got some ephemera made, I showed you, but I got to see where else I need ephemera. Plus, I got all my sorts of scraps. And I think these scraps are so pretty that throughout the book, I feel like I can just add strips, you know, to kind of complement the pages. It's kind of what I'm thinking with my scraps, so I'll do that as well. But anyways, thanks for joining me. And as this is a little craft with me as I'm working on this Wonder Walkers storybook journal. We're just chugging right along with it. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you guys soon. Bye for now.